Welcome back to Odelia Vlogs. Today we are discussing Module 1 in Part 3. The contents are natural resources, another two types that are mineral resources and food resources. Mineral resources, in this chapter you have to study the use and overexploitation of minerals and the effects of extracting mineral resources. First of all, we can know what is a mineral resource. Mineral resources are found on the earth crust with some economic value. It is usually occurred in the form of ores, organic or inorganic materials, and in form of metals just like gold, platinum and silver. So these are all finite in stock because it is non-renewable. We should use with cautious. We should be very cautious while using it. Once a mineral deposit is found, it is extracted by underground mining or quarrying. So use of mineral resources we can study now. Minerals are used in almost all industries. Gold and silver and platinum are used in jewelry industry, copper in coin industry, and also copper is used for making pipes and wires. Silicon, which is obtained from quartz, is used in computer industry. The greatest use of minerals depends upon its properties. For example, aluminium being light and durable in nature, it is used in aircraft, automobile industries and shipping. Also, mineral elements give fireworks color so that we can enjoy our festive seasons. Barium produces glossy green color. Strontium yields red. Copper yields blue color, and a mix of these metals will give even more brighter colors like lavender blue and so on. Exploitation of mineral resources has been a very much serious problem to the environment, and the effects are, first one is deforestation and desertification. The green landslides all will become a desert. The trees are cut down and there will be no aesthetic values. Next, extinction of species. Because the trees are cut down, the species cannot exist there. They will have to migrate to another place, whether it be birds, animals, fish, whatever. Next, rapid depletion of high-grade minerals. Because of the excessive use of minerals by mining process, a lot of minerals, because of extensive use, it is depleted. Forced migration due to noise pollution and toxic gases in the atmosphere, people will be forced to move. Next is wastage of upper soil layer and vegetation. That is a very serious problem because the soil is eroded and the upper soil layer, which is very fertile, will be just wasted, and the vegetation also will be ruined. Next, environment pollution, just like air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution. That is a serious matter in case of this exploitation of mineral resources if it is in excess. Next, natural hazards, just like landslides. We have usually heard about landslides occurring in near a quarry, and people should be alert and all. These are all the reason for this exploitation of mineral resources in excessive manner. Okay, now next we can study food resources. In food resources, you have to study global food problems or world food problems, changes caused by agriculture and overgrazing, effects of modern agriculture, fertilizer or pesticide problems, waterlogging and salinity. We can study in detail world food problems, and before that you have to know what is a food resource. We can study in detail what is a food resource. Food resources are anything ate by man which gives him instant energy to meet his physiological needs for the growth of his human body. Sources of food are of three types. One is land-based agriculture, which gives us our staple food, which is wheat and rice, banana, potato, all the oil seeds from where we get oils. The next is livestock, which includes cattle, sheep, goat, which provides us milk and meat. Then the next source of food is ocean and fresh waters, from where we get fish and seafoods. World food problems. Global food problems or world food problems involve complex interactions among food production, population growth, poverty, environmental effects, and economic and political systems. Now we can study in detail what is malnourishment. Malnourishment is the condition that develops when the body is deprived of vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients it needs to maintain healthy tissues and organ function. It will lead to less productivity than the normal person. For these two conditions, we need to have a balanced diet. So what is a balanced diet? Can you have any idea regarding a balanced diet? Balanced diet is nothing but a diet which includes all the essential things required for our body, which includes vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, proteins, fats and all. Okay. Now we can study the next chapter, overnutrition. What are the reason? What are the causes of overnutrition? I mean, overnutrition will cause what and all to the human body? Obesity. People will get overweight, high blood pressure, heart attack, cardiovascular problems. All the health-related matters are due to overnutrition. We can study the changes caused by agriculture, that is very important, site and off-site effects. Agriculture is done in on-site, and its on-site and off-site effects means the soil erosion that is happening on the land. The on-site effects include the soil erosion and the loss of soil. I have explained already what is soil erosion. So soil is washed away, the upper part of the soil due to the cutting down of trees and all. And the off-site effects include the erosion, that is the movement of soil eroded to the water courses through wind. So it is a wind erosion actually, off-site effects. Due to this agriculture, soil erosion happens, and the site effect is that soil is eroded, and the off-site effect is that when the wind is washing away the topsoil to the sea, and the sea also will be get affected. Next is the local changes. Local changes again include sedimentation and soil erosion. Sedimentation means the deposition of sediments in the rivers and all, and it will be accumulated in such a manner that it will be very difficult for all other course of the river, etc. Next, regional changes. Regional changes include deforestation, desertification, large-scale pollution, increase in sedimentation again. So these are all interrelated. You just have to know certain names. Sedimentation, global warming, climatic changes, biodiversity, sustainable development. These are certain words you have to always remember in this subject. Next, global changes. Global changes is just like climate change, because we know due to ozone layer depletion and global warming and greenhouse effect, the climate is changing everywhere, and that is another reason globally which is caused due to agriculture. Okay, because a lot of carbon dioxide is emitted in the atmosphere. I will tell you in detail in the next session. Now we can study the changes caused by overgrazing. First one is damage from cattle cramp. Damage from cattle tramp. Okay, because the cattle are being given overgrazing and all, the land will be tramped by this cattle, and it will be, the vegetation will be damaged. Next one is reduction in vegetative growth. Because the cattle is eating lot of grass and all, there will be much reduction in the vegetative growth, and not only that, some plants will not be edible for the cattle. That is also another reason, another problem due to this overgrazing, because some plants the cattle will not eat, and that will be there in that area. Next, dominance of plant species which is not suited for cattle. That's what I told you. Next one is reduction in vegetative growth. That once again I typed. Anyway, it's okay. Now next, we can study the effects of modern agriculture. Modern agriculture is a system of production that involves the use of tools and techniques developed through scientific research. It involves intensive chemical fertilizers, pesticides and herbicides to increase the crop yields. The impacts of agriculture are, first one, soil erosion. I will explain now. Soil erosion I have already told you. Then once again I will tell. The excessive water supply and wind removes the top fertile soil of the farm. There will be loss of nutrient-rich soil, and that will affect the productivity of agriculture. Understood? Second one is soil pollution. We know in most of the artificial or chemical fertilizers there is sodium, potassium and phosphorus, and these are all okay because in the earth also we are getting all these minerals, these elements, no, sodium, potassium and phosphorus. But more than that, more than sodium, potassium and phosphorus, there are some other toxic elements which are causing damage to the soil. And when these chemicals combine with others, that will create again soil pollution. Next is groundwater contamination. Groundwater contamination is a very serious matter because all the fertilizers, the artificial fertilizers will be washed away during rain, and these are all accumulated in the water, and the water will be accumulated in the sea, rivers, etc. And also the groundwater, because the water table, the aquifers, everything will be contaminated because of this fertilizers, artificial fertilizers or chemical fertilizers. They are creating much nuisance because we are all using artificial fertilizers because they have less smell, lower risk of contamination. But in natural fertilizers have a little bit smell, and we are all preferring artificial fertilizers. But these are the problems that they are creating in agriculture. Artificial fertilizers are very easy to store and handle and to apply. So we have to control this artificial fertilizers, and for that government has introduced a removal of subsidies on chemical fertilizers, and also government stresses upon rotation of some crops also, so that the soil pollution can be eroded. Next, greenhouse effect. Modern agriculture is the major contributor of greenhouse gases. 14% of total greenhouse gas emission is from agriculture, which contribute to global warming and climate change. Do you know what is global warming? It is the current rise in average temperature of Earth's air and oceans. So the world is now warming faster than at any point in our recorded history. So that is a very serious impact. I will just tell you what is greenhouse effect. It is the way in which heat is trapped close to Earth's surface by greenhouse gases. These greenhouse gases act just like a blanket trapped around the Earth. The greenhouse gases include carbon dioxide, which is mostly from agriculture, which is evolved in the atmosphere, methane, chlorofluorocarbons, that is CFCs, that is from air conditioners, fridge, etc., nitrous oxide and water vapor. Nitrous oxide, that is again from agriculture, and also automobile exhaust, automobile exhaust just like sulfur dioxide. These are all poisonous gases, and these are all greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases let the sunlight onto the Earth's surface, but what they will do, they will trap the heat that reflects back up into the atmosphere. So the greenhouse gases are just like a blanket for the Earth because they trap the heat that reflects back up onto the atmosphere. This leads to global warming and climate change. Ozone layer depletion. I have already told you about this, but still I will explain once again. Ozone layer is a thinner layer that is seen in the outer atmosphere, and here if there is any hole, then the ultraviolet radiations will harm us. So ozone layer actually protects us from these harmful ultraviolet radiations that is coming from the sun. Once there is global warming, the ozone layer will be depleted and we can't survive. We all will extinct. Okay. Now we can study fertilizer and pesticide problems. Most of the artificial fertilizers are very harmful for, is very hazardous For example, let me say endosulfan. Endosulfan is no more being produced because of its serious effect. Even the newborn baby or even the baby in mother's womb, that also is suffering from all the hazardous effects of global warming. Pesticides can even create cancer. Waterlogging. Waterlogging is a condition where water stands on the land for most of the year. In a waterlogged condition, the roots of the plant do not get enough air for respiration. How they will get air for respiration? Because it's full of water. So that will lead to low crop yield, as well as the strength of the stem will be very low mechanical strength. I think you understood. Next is salinity. Salinity is a process where water is not absorbed by the soil, which is evaporating, and later it will create a thin layer of dissolved salts on the top soil, and this is called salinity of soil. Saline soils yield less crop. So we have to take remedial measures so that the salinity is removed. For that, one method is that we can remove the salt deposit by flushing good quality water or by using a subsurface drainage system so that the top salted portion can be flushed out. So this is for today. Today we studied 2 resources. Okay, and if you have any queries, you can comment in the comment box. We have to complete again 2 more natural resources. Then we have to complete ecosystem, and I will complete it soon. See you in the next part. Thank you.